another show, another week, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. I have some amazing guests that's headed your way. Listen, get your notepad and pencil, get your popcorn, girlfriend, and let's have a good time tonight. It's going to be awesome. So much information, so much knowledge. I have some wise women coming on the stage. Listen, we young at heart, but baby, we got some information that we want to share with you. So listen, come back, enjoy. Let's go ahead and like, tag, and share. Take a moment to like, tag, and share, and let me know. Dr. Nikki, I know you on. I see you. Let me know you see me. Go ahead and let me know you are watching me live on the Convo Christian Talk Show on our YouTube channel. I want to give a special shout out to CTR Media Network. Dr. Tina Ramsey, I love you. Thank you for the opportunity to be on your platform. We're in over 300 million locations, and we're grateful just for the connection and what God is really doing in our place in the Convo Christian Talk Show. Listen, in a couple of weeks, we'll be headed to the International Leadership Summit with Bishop T.D. Jakes. I'll be interviewing on the red carpet, interviewing so many amazing people that's going to be there. And then we're headed to Good Soil, which is going to be in Dallas, Texas. And then we headed to Atlanta, Georgia with Women Evolve. And we're so excited about what God is doing with the network. We'll be interviewing so many people this year. We'll be going to the Stellar Awards this year. We're going to the Dove Awards this year. We have a whole year plan of nothing but connections, information, and we're celebrating so many women who's doing some amazing things. And so we're excited. Listen, I want to talk about the Mind the Business God gave me tour. We just did a major mastermind, intensive mastermind on Saturday, and we were headed to 7 different cities. And this is actually the workbook that you get when you come. And you don't forget to check out my planner. The planner is in all of the Powerhouse bookstores. It's the Mind the Business that God gave you planner. I'm excited. Listen, go get your planner. It's only $99 on my page. Or if you want to go to the Powerhouse page and get it, you're welcome to go to T.D. Jakes bookstore and pick up a copy. And then also, I have another book that I just wrote called Get Visible Like a Boss. I am a visibility expert. I help you to be visible from covers of magazines to billboards all over the world. And so Get Visible Like a Boss helps you to build your brand. And then don't forget to Coach Like a Boss. Coach Like a Boss is for those who are coaching. You know you've been coaching girlfriend for free this next season. Listen, no more freebies this year. Put a price on it. And I'm finishing up the book called Speak Like a Boss. So those are all the things that I have going on. Listen, stay tuned, and we'll be back with our first guest. I'm excited. You should be too. Take a moment to like, tag, and share, and we'll be back live here at the Convo Christian Talk Show with yours truly, Dr. Nikki Zeigler, your visibility expert. Stay tuned. Listen, I got my girl. Listen, I call her the financial expert. Franchesca Ross-Jones is in the building. I know her as Franchesca Ross. We've been friends since 7th grade. So I'm excited to have you on my show, the Convo Show. Welcome, girl.
I am so happy to be here. Hey. So proud of you. You're doing amazing things.
Listen.
Amazing things for the kingdom, amazing things for women. You know, and I think that's just so important.
It is.
We miss that a lot of times.
We do.
As women, we carry so many hats. We do so much.
We do.
And we never take the time to just celebrate us.
Listen, we celebrate us every day over here. I'm always trying to find ways to celebrate our women. I mean, yes. we hold a lot. You know what I'm saying? We carry a lot. Men don't carry the way we carry, girl. Listen, no. They can't even deal with it.
No. God did not build them for that. He built us to be the helpmate.
Come on now.
Right?
And I love helping.
Yes.
I love serving. I think it's very important to serve as a woman, you know, and to stay in our lane, because, you know, some of us will cross over.
Yes,
we
have to be reminded every now and then, right?
Look, edge snatching every now and then. Snatch these edges right here. But yeah, I'm just saying, I mean, you have really, which, you know, in junior high school, you was always the smartest girl that I knew. Oh. You know that girl. Listen, I'm like, I got A's, B. She like, I got all A's. I'm like, oh, friend, you always had all A's. Did you ever make a B?
Yeah.
Wait.
I got a B, I think, in 5th grade. And Mama came to pick us up from school. And I was sitting on the sidewalk crying. And so she jumped out of the van. She was like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And so, of course, Justin was like, oh, she got a B. And she just act like the world is right because she got a B. But, you know, that was because he would get them A's and B's.
Right.
You know, he was in another little lane.
So did you get any B's in junior high school?
I don't think so.
Oh, I hope you did. Because every time, listen, you know how you be that kid in school where everybody, you know, doing honors day, you like, okay, Franchesca, honor roll society. Francesca, all A's. Francesca needs. I mean, she probably went up on that stage about 10 times. I'm like, no, I'm not on stage.
Don't you do that.
No, but I'm telling you, like, I'm not even a hater. Like I'm that girl who I'm like, that. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Like I never, you know, I don't believe in hating on folks. I believe that God, you know, He knew you was destined to succeed. You was the one that everybody knew you were gonna be great. And look at you now, you did it, man.
God's grace.
Listen, and I ain't cheating on your paper either. I think I probably did peek a little bit.
Look, God's grace. And I say the same thing about you. People don't understand sometimes the gifts that they carry. You know, they don't understand the oil they carry.
Come on.
And so sometimes it's hard for other people. You know, they're on the outside looking in. I tell people all the time when they're upset because somebody is being a mean girl to them.
That's it.
You know, and I tell them, honey, they can walk 10 seconds in your shoes, not to mention 10 hours, you know. And so you have to be sure of who you are.
That's right.
Right? Who you are and whose you are. We'll say that. And as long as you carry that and you keep a servant heart and a servant spirit, you're going to go far. You're going to go far. That's what we got to do in life. We've got to understand that we're here to serve. In whatever capacity that is, everybody has a gift. Yes. Everybody's here to serve. We all are here to serve in every capacity of life. Yes. You know, we have to have that service. And for me, I'm just, you know, I'm a teen girl. Like, I'm just, I know us. Like, I you know, anytime I can just highlight and spotlight and celebrate us, I think that's why God helped me on this earth to really, like, help push out and give women more platforms, visibility. And I told God, I said, give me all the platforms so I'm able to share. And I think the reason why God has allowed, you know, even my brand to be successful, because I don't mind sharing. Like, I don't care. Come get it. You can have it. Because I feel like when God gives you something, it's not for you. It's for others. It's for others. Collaboration. Trump's competition. All the time. Now that's our thing. Every time I see your flyer, I have this big, because like-minded, I have a big smile. Because you had a conference a couple of years ago. Yes. And you put collaboration over competition. I smile because people don't get it. No, they really don't. And if you have something to offer, sometimes it could be your smile. Yes. It can be just a favor over you. You know, just how you show up. Yes. Right? How you show up. Sometimes it's just how you show up. It's crazy. That's the thing. You bless somebody else. Yeah. And people really, they don't get that. You know, they want to have their hands like this all the time. You cannot be blessed. You cannot be blessed like that. Because you know when you like that, what do you get? You holding on to stuff, man. Listen, yes. God said He blesses a cheerful giver, a cheerful, not a person who gives because they want something in return. Yes. You know, when I decided to create this platform, I'm like, I just want all of them to just come. Let's have the conversation and say, how do I sharpen your iron? You know, iron sharpen iron. Yes. And a lot of women, they get so tired of being the knife and no one can sharpen with them. Let's have these conversations on how to really fix your crown without telling everybody else that you did it. I don't know, just do you, babe. And if I see where I can enhance you, That's right.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, you gonna pay for some stuff.
That's right. You got, I mean, hey.
I got bills.
I got bills.
Big bills.
Bills, babies, grandbabies, all that
Look,
stuff.
we aunties. Look, we grandmas now. You know what I'm saying? We got too many. And I tell them, I say, you know, especially for my entrepreneur, like I have such a passion for women in entrepreneurship. I'm like, babe, your price is your price. Like, don't compromise the price. Because if they can't afford it, then they're not your demographics. And it's okay.
That's okay. That's okay. Because
okay.
there is someone, you are who they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
You're their answered prayer. You know, they've been toiling, saying, well, how am I going to get this done? What am I going to do? I had a young lady to contact me today. And she said, you know, I had a consultation with you back in 2023. She said, and I just thought about you. I knew I had your information somewhere. And she booked again. And she's like, I'm ready to get my business off the ground. She said, and I just said, I need to reach out to this woman of God.
That's
because
right.
she really poured into me. She said, and she didn't even know me. That's what she was like, you didn't even know me. And you just poured into me. And I told her, sometimes that's what it takes. It takes for someone to show you what you don't see. Or you're afraid to see in yourself.
But Franchesca, you planted that seed though. And I tell my coaches all the time, you know, all my coaches who I coach, I tell them, I said, sometimes when you plant the seed, you're not going to see the sprout come up yet. You know what I'm saying? You might not even see it. God might allow you to be the seed planter for someone else to come and water it, or someone else to come and love on it and nourish it and put the sunshine to it. So be okay when you're not the one who reaped the harvest of a seed.
That's right.
Because God got a better seed for you. Just go ahead and keep on.
That's right.
Them seeds.
That is so true, Dr. Nikki, because sometimes I think we get caught up in the want to be seen. Want to be at the forefront. And I tell people all the time, that's just never been me.
Well, no, it's you not. I don't know why you sit here and see what I did that.
No, I tell people.
But like, you're not a bad person. I don't know why you on my phone. People. No, man.
Don't get that. You have to have some type of humble bone.
You humble, but you are not in the bag. So you ain't gonna see him. The devil is a lie. You are a straight boss. She's on covers of international publications. Don't let her trick y'all. I'm calling her to the forefront. Because if you was in the bag, you won't be on the stage. Okay? So I'm serious. Like, you know, and that's good that you humble like that. Because you always been that person. Like, for real. Like, y'all, what you see is what you get with her. She's always been consistent. But we're the ones, and I got to be honest, you know, when I worked for Dr. Bynum and I worked for Bishop Jakes, I was in the back. I was. You know what I'm saying? I never was in the front. You know, in the last 4 years, God has kind of pushed me like this. Even when I had Spotlight Magazine years ago, it wasn't even about me shining. It was about me spotlighting women and men.
Right. Other people who were doing amazing things in the community, who were striving, you know, and sometimes, like you say, you're taking your platform to show other people that there are people out here who can help you get you to that next level.
Yes.
Because sometimes they don't know where to start, or
they need help.
Or they just, a lot of times, you know, now we're in the age of social media.
Right.
So they jump on the popularity bandwagon. And sometimes that's not the best bandwagon to jump on.
Because you don't know how they got
there. That's right. How they got there and how they're staying there. We'll say that.
Not only staying there, but when we don't have the cameras, how they living.
Right. How are you living? How are you treating people?
That's right.
How you acting? Are you the same person
that you portray over? And I can honestly say statistics say 65% of them are not.
Yes.
So we're looking for the 45. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the ones that's real, who's about their life for real and live the life they preach about, because it's hard out here, y'all. I mean, in business and entrepreneurship, you know, just trying to balance it out. Even being a wife, being a mom, it's you know, it can be hard at times, but you know, we do it because we're called to this, you know. Yes. And so you're doing the financial thing. That is not my lane. I'm like, Lord, help me, Jesus. You're doing the Kelly. Y'all are amazing. You know, that ain't my lane. I'm like, I do want to swipe. Y'all like, I love clothes and shoes and heels and all that stuff. You look like Dr. Nikki. You don't need to spend any money on that.
Right. So. You know, my favorite saying is, especially during the holidays, it's not a sale if you don't need it. That's my favorite thing to say. Well, and you're like, no, I need it though. I need it. It's still a sale. But
it's bad, y'all. And so, cause my team laugh at me like when I wear something, I don't wear it no 3 or 4 times. But you know what I do? I'm tell you what I do. My sister sitting here, she'll tell you. When I wear stuff, friend, I give it away.
And that's you.
I give it away.
You being a blessing.
Yep.
See.
So
and that's why, but that's why God continues to make the provisions for her to buy and buy.
Because I get but I look clothes is everything. Now I'm big on that. But tell us who you are. You know, y'all, we came in like this because this is what we do. We've been friends a long time. Almost 30 years now. Well, past 30 years. So tell the people who you are and the name of your business.
Hi, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here with Dr. Nikki this evening. I am Dr. Franchesca Ross-Jones, and I am the founder, the brainchild behind the Common Sense Solutions brand. And I like to think of us as a financial and business services boutique.
I don't think we can hear you.
Oh, no.
I don't know, sometimes this microphone. Yep. There you go. Sit that better.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. So I like to think of us as a financial services boutique.
Okay.
Business services boutique.
I like the word boutique.
Yes, because, when people come to me and they say, well, what do you do? I tell people I am an advocate for entrepreneurship. I am. And financial literacy. Mm-hmm. Because it's so important. And I think it's one of the conversations that's so hard to have, because who really wants to talk about their finances, right? Who wants to talk about their credit? Who wants to talk about any of these things until they want to make a purchase?
All right.
And then they lack that education. And so now we're here, and I don't know what these people are talking about. I just know I need this car. I know we need a home for our family. And how did I get to this place?
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's because of that lack. Mm-hmm. Nobody's taught you. Nobody's had the conversations. Mm-hmm. And for me, it's just so important for men, women, young people to understand that you shouldn't be ashamed or feel bad because you've gone through some things. Mm-hmm. Because we can rebound from anything.
That's right.
We can rebound from anything.
That's right.
It just takes sometimes a shift in mindset, mm-hmm. a shift in what is it that I want? And am I willing to sacrifice? And more so for me, am I willing to trust God?
That's
in that space.
Come on now.
In that space, am I willing to trust God? Being a wife, you're a wife. So, when you think back on things that you guys have wanted to do collectively.
Yes.
And maybe there were some hiccups or some challenges mm-hmm. along the way. And so you both had to make a commitment mm-hmm. to, we've got to do this. Like, you can't be going, I love to use the analogy, you going up 65 and going down 85.
Two different ways.
We're not going to meet in the middle, yeah. sir. So
that's true. No, that's good.
What's our plan? And a part of what our plan is, like you said, as women, as wives, as Proverbs 31 women, or women who strive to be more like the Proverbs 31 woman daily. Mm-hmm. Even if you feel like, oh, my husband leading us, but I see he's about to lead us right off this cliff. Baby, you got to hold on tight, and you got to let him lead.
Yeah, you got to
Boy, let me tell you, you better have a plan B over here on the side. Because that's it. We ain't going over this cliff, baby. I'm going to hit the brakes for us, right?
But I'm gonna do it in that nice way.
Right. In that sweet, what is it that we need to be? That sweet, that honey way. Yeah.
You gotta do it.
You gotta do it in such a way where it's not like, hey, when we were having this discussion, I said, but you said we were gonna do this, and so now we're here. Right. You can't bring that part up at all.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it nicely.
You got to,
especially with our men, with my husband.
You have to do it nicely. Oh, honey, because it coming the wrong way.
I'm the king.
That's it. Coming the wrong way. It's like, what?
Last I checked, I'm the head.
Right. Last I checked, you would have helped Nate, but last I checked, look, I get quiet because I'm like, yeah, I don't pay these bills over here, so let me be quiet. We had a hiccup, but we're gonna come back from there,
right.
And so I just think a lot of times that, especially in relationships and mm-hmm. marriages, I tell people all the time, even when you're single, date yourself, get yourself together, mm-hmm. because when you come together, mm-hmm. it's hard.
But people see it, friend, and they see the smiles, and they see the pictures, and they see
yes.
the title, but they don't understand the oil that comes with being a
yes.
wife.
Yes.
My God, it look, all will come with being a pastor, or come with being a business owner. It's a lot that we carry.
Yes.
You know, I was applauding my husband a couple of weeks ago because I just became a part of this this new network called TSP, Traffic Sales and Profits. And so my husband, he sacrificed and went back to work to make sure
that you could do this,
that I could do this. And it had already, of course, profited us already because I'm already making money off of me joining the organization. But I was just telling him, I said, babe, I want to be in a pond where I'm the small fish, because normally every circle I'm in, I'm the daggone big fish. I'm the one who always pour.
That's powerful.
Yes.
That's powerful.
And I needed to be poured in because I felt myself being burnt out. And so when you see that, it's time to put the brakes.
Yes.
And it's time to find yes.
It's time to pivot.
And I did. And I literally, my whole demeanor is so different now because the people that I'm doing business with, everyone that's in the network now that I'm a part of, are millionaires.
Yes.
If they're not millionaires, they're, they're almost hitting seven figures. So you gotta be, now it's like, oh, I gotta see what they're doing.
That's right.
Because
you're ready for the next level.
I am.
You're ready for the next level. And
yes.
I tell people all the time, don't be so focused on what you see on social media and what you see people say, because you don't know how they're staying in that position, how they got in that position. If it's just content,
mm-hmm.
you don't really know. You don't know what their real life, what their real number, you don't know what any of that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And so you do have to take the standpoint of perspective of I'm gonna keep my eyes on my paper.
That's right.
Right?
Mind my business.
Right, mind my business. And I tell people, because you don't know, this is your season that God has you in.
Mm-hmm.
That's not your season over there.
Right.
But a lot of people don't get that. I tell people all the time, you will see people, you will envy people. And that's just a spirit that you shouldn't want to have. You should never want somebody else's life, because you don't know what they deal with, what they go through. They just see you show up and they see you walk in this street, But like you just said, you get burnt out. It becomes overwhelming when you wear many hats.
Mm-hmm.
And I applaud you, because you know how many people wouldn't say what you just said?
Listen, I care about nobody.
Publicly?
Because if you don't be authentic, you cannot help people.
No.
People need to understand that was a struggle. That was time where I lost everything.
Yes.
Repoed,
Yes.
house, cars, relationships.
Yes.
I went through so much in life to get me where I'm at today. And I feel like, well, you ain't going through that. You can't help nobody.
You can't.
How you gonna tell somebody how to do something and you never been through nothing?
And that's what I tell people.
That's fake love.
I say, I know what it's like to have a house foreclosed.
I
know what it's like to have a car repoed. I know what it's like to have a credit score that is 400, 500, and come back on the other side. I know what it's like. So if you have no shame.
So you can teach them.
Yes, you have no shame when you come to talk to me. I have no judgment, because I know what it's like.
And school can't teach you hard knock life. I'm sorry. School can't teach you that. School only can teach you how to be a problem solver. But if you never went through it, then it's hard for you to tell anybody what to do next in your life. And I, at first when I was, I made a lot of mistakes, especially in the city. I was like, Lord, and some mistakes, it was all my fault. And then other mistakes, it was like, nah, they just kind of set me up on that, okay?
Right.
But I thank God for my setbacks.
Me too.
Yeah.
You know what? I think sometimes we look at things as time goes on, right? And we spend so much time not understanding that we evolve, we change, right? And so whatever it is, we just continue to water that situation the same way, right?
Come on now.
Not realizing that when we change and when we grow, we need to look over here, because this needs watering. We tackling everything the same way we've always done it.
That's right.
And it doesn't work that way.
We
know that even in raising kids, right? What worked at 4 doesn't work at 14. So, and
then one work for one child, don't work for the other.
Lord,
Lord, these 5 children, Lord. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to know you have to have that in life. You have to have that spirit of discernment. You know what I'm saying? Yes. You really have to have that to be efficient in business, in the marketplace. ministry in the marketplace, when to talk about God, when not to talk about God, how to hug people, how to speak to people, how to relate to them. Because some people you can't tell all your business to, but they're like, "Oh, she telling all her. I don't trust that." But others you have to just, just say, "Okay, baby, you got this." You ain't got to put a scripture on it. Just tell them, "Hey, you got this."
And that's all. For some people, that's all it takes. For some people, it can be you walking in a room, and I think that is what irritates people's spirit sometimes. Sometimes it's just something about a person.
Yeah.
You can walk in a room, and it shifts the whole atmosphere.
That's right.
And that's one of my prayers every day. I ask God, when I walk in this room,
let me be a
whatever is not right in here,
whatever's
not right in here, let me position me.
Come on.
So that it just decides to get up and leave.
Come on.
Right? Whatever, whoever.
Right. But I think for me, honestly, on the personal side, I think God really allowed my spirit to be misunderstood because he was blocking a lot of people who wasn't meant to be in my life at that time. Because now when I meet people, they're like, "Man, you really is good." I'm like, "But I've been here the whole time." But you didn't see me because you went by what people said about me. You didn't get to know me for yourself. And so that's your end of it, not mine.
That's right.
Because I'm still Nikki.
That's right. And a lot of people don't get that. They're so caught up in what somebody else tells them, or like I say, what they see on social media. And I tell people all the time, I show you what I want to show you on social media. I don't have to open you up to my entire life. You don't have to see every trip that we take.
Right.
You don't have to see every date. You don't have to see any of those things.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, this is your family.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
This is your business, so you do share because you do want to be relatable. You do want people to know that you're human and you deal with things like they deal with things, right?
And a lot of people who gravitate to my life are people who need to see that side so they can understand if God did it for her, he'll do it for me. And that's why I post the way I post. I'm always posting because I need you to understand who God says that you are. You know what I'm saying? And what you totally different. You ain't gonna too much see Mr. Jones on Facebook. I'm telling you that now. He is this guy, but you ain't gonna see. You may or may not.
And I think even for me now, because it is so weird, I'll have people, they'll reach out to me and say, "Hey, I haven't seen you post on Facebook. I haven't seen you on Instagram." And so you know what I say to myself? And I told him, I said, I probably really need a personal assistant now because I'm so busy a lot of times that my life, the dynamics of my life have shifted totally. It doesn't even matter that the kids are grown. Like I have this beautiful little granddaughter.
Oh, now that's who I see, honey. She took over the page.
Yeah, she took over. And so it's like when I'm not busy with work, when I'm not busy being a daughter, a wife, a mom, I'm definitely being a grandma.
You're definitely a grandma.
So, it's just like,
and I love it.
Yeah, and it's just like, hey, the people who know you know you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay. You may see me post, like it may be a quarter out of the year where you see a lot of action. And then you may see, oh, I just see stuff here and there.
Right.
Yes, because I'm trying to figure out, how do people post all day? I'll be so busy.
But see, for me, I am a social media, I'm a visibility coach for me.
Yes.
So most of the time when I'm posting, I've been posting that a couple of days ago and they're just now showing on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? I schedule out my posts. I don't have time for that, girl. I'm not going to post every day.
I'm telling you, that's what I need to get into.
You need to get you one of the Pakistan assistants. You know, they like $2.50 an hour now.
Yes.
So I'm gonna hook you up with those people. Yes. And they'll post for you. They actually charge you $2.50 an hour.
I'm telling you,
and you get about 3 or 4 of them, you good.
Yes, that's my goal. Hey, I said, we were talking the other day. I said, hey, by the time April comes and my birthday gets around, I said people gonna be like, okay, she on her game. She posted regularly.
Right.
I'm like,
you don't have time.
But I went scrolling like all my social media myself, and I'm like, oh my goodness, you gotta be better.
Yeah, you gotta be better. And I don't say, but I like when taxis come. You be coming, taxis, you be live when y'all come on in. You have so much information on taxes, and I think it's important that we understand our laws. And people like you are always giving us quality, accurate information. I'm gonna tell y'all, if y'all stay on TikTok. People telling you that, you could buy a Range Rover with your, they be saying all kind of things. Yes. And Nick and Kelly talked about that the other day. I'm like, people do the most on TikTok.
Yes.
And half of it be lies.
LLC, buy a car in your LLC.
Yes.
And so let me say this. Look, you brought up a great subject.
Yes.
Because I've had this question. Like,
can you buy a car?
You can. However, let me state this.
Come on now.
I tell people all the time, they may still want you to be a personal guarantor. That's the first thing.
So they still got for you.
That part. But the biggest part is the commercial insurance. So nobody said, I've never seen a TikTok or Instagram that talks about that part. So let me say this. If you do go out and you purchase a vehicle in your business name, you are required to have commercial insurance.
And that's expensive, right?
Oh, honey, yes. I'll have people to say, hey, well, what's a reasonable? I haven't ever heard of any reasonable commercial insurance.
Well, speaking of insurance, if you need commercial insurance, here's a plug. My husband works at State Farm. Dr. Nikki Zeigler will hook you up with your commercial insurance.
Yes, but look, but they gonna say to themselves when they get that quote, they're gonna say, "Oh, I need to we're not gonna buy this car in this business. We're gonna buy it in my name."
So let me say this to you. So they do a credit check on you with the LLC.
Yes, most of the time they still want you to be a personal guarantor. They're leaving those parts out, and then and I'll have people to they want to tongue tussle with me, of course, about it. Well, no, you don't have to have commercial insurance. I can just call Alpha. But did you tell Alpha that you purchased a car in business name?
Okay, so it's not. So they're trying to lie now. So they're trying to go around it.
What happens if you go out and you hit someone, and then your insurance company gets ready to pay out that claim? They may be driving a really nice vehicle, right? You go out and hit them, and they decide, oh, we're not gonna pay this claim because this is a commercial loan, right? But this is individual insurance. Then what? Actually, I've had a situation like that with someone in their credit. They're 16-year-old. They had purchased a new SUV. Let the 16-year-old drive. He went out and hit somebody in a brand new Maybach. Yes. So if that's not true, then these people probably wouldn't have been coming to me to consult and see, hey, what am I going to do? Because I had this $80,000 SUV that's on my credit now. Because no one paid it off.
Oh, my God.
So, it's a lot more to things that we see. Like I say, we're in the age of social media. So it pays to do your research. And, going back to what you said about tax time, I always tell people, always disclose before I give out any information. I always say, hey, please go cross-reference anything that I share with you on irs.gov.
Because I remember when PPP loans were out. I mean, honestly, I didn't apply for one, and I could have, because I actually have a couple of businesses.
Right, legitimate, right.
Okay, but when I went to your page, I was just like, man, friend, ain't playing about this. I mean, you was my two. I watched everything you posted. I was like, you know what? I don't want no parts of this. And so many people in the jail behind this stuff, man.
Right, and it's so many people who feel that, oh, they've just forgotten about me. And so I don't think that they've forgotten. I think me, in my professional opinion, and just reading and researching and watching, I think what we'll end up seeing happen, they're not going to be able to put everybody in jail or, bring charges against everybody. We'll say that.
Okay.
So I think what we'll eventually see happen is that if you got the loan, you didn't have the loan forgiven, you can't prove that you had the business, then what will probably happen is you'll receive, are you familiar with the 1099?
I am, of course.
Okay, so a cancellation of debt. So I think what will happen is you'll receive a 1099-C, right, from the government, and then that's income you need to report on your tax return.
And if you don't report it.
So if, let's say, for instance, you made $24,000 last year, $34,000 last year, and you're looking to receive a refund back. You do qualify for those refundable credits, the earned income credit, the child tax. You usually qualify for those credits. Well, if we bring in a 1099-C, which is a taxable income form, and we add it to that $24,000 you made, or that $36,000 you made, $20,000, $30,000 that you got in a PPP loan, that's going to change your tax bracket. That's going to change your income, and most likely it's probably going to place you in a place where you don't even qualify for those credits anymore. So that's going to definitely hinder some people. And so, I just tell people some things are just not worth it. If it's fast and everybody is, oh, well, you can do this, you can do that. Some of that stuff is just not even worth your time.
It's not.
Because I even asked the person, hey, the people that you're saying they applied for this loan and they didn't have a legitimate business. Well, when they received these funds, did they go out and start a business?
Right.
Those are the type of things that come to mind for me. But I mean, we already know, this is not the beginning of time where people jump on things and then later on down the line they're saying, oh, that probably wasn't the best decision to make.
Right.
But it's okay. If you're in that space, you didn't make the best decision. We saw that before tax season this year, where the ERC credit that they were, that was a big problem, and they paused, accepting anything for that ERC. And then they said, if you applied for it and we haven't processed it, you can withdraw your application. Or if you got it, you can agree to paying this amount of money back over time. But you have so many people who didn't even take advantage of that. So,
well, I know I did. I'm just real careful about certain things.
Yes.
And I'm riding low. I'm not riding dirty. I'm riding right. So if I'm serious, some things I just did not take advantage of because I just did not want to put myself in any kind of red, nothing.
Right. Stress.
So because you don't really know what's legit and what's not. These days, people making up anything. Like I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna make my hard-earned money myself and do it that way. So
we are now. I know we're seeing the effects of everything that was COVID and that was supposed to be a help. We're really seeing the inflation, right?
We are.
I mean, everything has gone up
so
much. And so when we think about, hey, everything's gone up.
I mean, even eggs. How eggs go up? Honey. People, the TikToks are funny about these eggs, y'all. I'm like, what in the world? So tell us what all you do with your organization.
So, we do so much, Dr. Nikki. Let's see what we'll start at. Well, of course, taxes. So business taxes, personal taxes. Today is actually tax deadline. So you guys might get home. I still have some things to look at. Yes, S Corps and partnerships are due today to be filed, or extension to be filed for those. So tax planning. Okay. And I told people tax planning is not during tax season, right? So you plan all year. Okay. For things that are going to come up. Is my withholding correct? Okay. If it's not, can I afford for it to be different? Okay. What am I going to have any situations that change this year? Am I going to be getting married? Right. Are we having a new baby? Are we going to buy a new home? Just there are a lot of things to consider, and just understanding what you can legally write off and what you cannot. Because you'd be amazed at what people think they can write off. I did a live a few weeks ago about funerals. So people saying, hey, I donated to, this person passed away. I donated to that funeral. I wrote a check to the funeral home. I took money by the funeral home, and they want to write it off on their taxes. And so I was explaining that there are a few instances where possibly, but most of the time, no, you cannot write that off on your taxes. So let's say, for instance, if there were a 501c3, right, that you could donate to, and then they were in turn going to go in and they were going to take those funds and they were going to write a check to donate to that funeral. Then they would in turn send you something at the end of the year, and then that would be a deduction, right? If it was a estate or a trust, you have to look at, well, what's going on here? Does it fall into a taxable space? Right. And then another, which would be a very rare case, would be if you're the CEO of a company, right? Someone passes or you pass and the company paid for the funeral. Could we really legally write that off? We have to look at what was their position mentioned in the company? How about it's very rare. So it's people think that, hey, I'm gonna be able to write this off, and it's little things, but they become big things because you see. I will tell you, I'm so passionate about the industry. I see something new every year, or multiple things that are new, and we don't talk about those things. We talk about all the how can I get this credit? But we don't talk about
things that's important.
Right, the things that are important. And a lot of times people say, well, hey, everybody doesn't fall into that space. Maybe not, but maybe they do.
Or maybe somebody in their family or somebody that's connected to them eventually will. Right. So how do we find your website? Where do we go?
So you can go to www.makingcommonsense.com.
Okay, and how you spell it? Spell it right away.
Oh, yes.
Because let me put the Y and the I's and all that stuff.
Yeah, so making, M-A-K-I-N-G, common, C-O-M-M-O-N, sense is C-E-N-T-S.
Okay.
So not sense, but hey, common sense is not so common all the time. It's cliche, but I love it. I love it because I think that's what we all have in common.
Well, listen, let's go ahead and give it up for Franchesca. Listen, Franchesca Ross-Jones. I know it's Franchesca Ross-Jones, and we're grateful for you stopping by. And you're welcome to come back anytime. I would love to bring you back and just do a show with you because I feel like you have so much knowledge that you can give to so many women and men in business and ministry. And so we would love to bring you back. Thank you for coming on the show, and thank you for having me. Yes. I would love to come back. Definitely. Okay. All right, Grace, take us out. We got another special guest coming next, guys. Stay tuned. We'll be back. All right, listen, we are celebrating Women's Month all month long in the month of March, and I have this amazing, beautiful, a little oil and not ashy girl, Victoria Hardy in the studio. Hey, how are you, Queen? I'm doing good. How are you? I am good. Listen, one of these HBCU girls in the building. So tell the people what you're doing, what you got going on.
Okay. So I am the founder and CEO of Established Consulting Firm, and what we do is we're a strategic communications firm, and we literally help people establish healthy and effective internal and strategic communication solutions. And so that's just one little sentence about what we do, but when you think about internal communications, that looks like processes, systems, communication between employees and inside your business period, and then as well as external communications that looks like public relations, content creation, press releases, relaunching, rebranding, marketing, all of those things. And so that's a little bit about what we do. The name established literally means to set up firmly. So what we've noticed is that a lot of businesses, organizations, people, ministries, they're established or they're built, they have a setup, right? But it's not firm. And so what we do is we come in and we help them create a firm establishment so that, they can exist beyond us, right? They have a strategy that is like a legacy almost. They can continue on without having to have certain people in place and certain procedures in place. The strategy has to be that well. So that's a little bit about what we do right now. So yeah.
That is so good. I'm smiling because you and I have kindred feels. And this is amazing. Yes. I've been knowing you since you was a little baby. So now God has really, truly blessed you to be an entrepreneur. So how, you could have worked for any corporate job in the world. What made you say, you know what, I'm going to clock into my own?
You know what, I think that I always had an entrepreneur spirit because of my family. A lot of the people in my family, like my grandmother, my grandfather, they were entrepreneurs themselves. Even my father and my mother had some businesses as well. And I started doing business as a young girl. You know, I was tutoring young kids at I think I was tutoring at age 12. I was tutoring like little kindergartners and stuff, and I had like a snack machine. But as I grew older, I started getting passionate about communications, and more so focused in journalism. I mean, I thought I was going to grow up to be a CNN news anchor.
That's what I'm looking at. You always make it look like a
you're good at talking. You're good at being in front of the camera.
You don't want to do it?
I did, but I realized when I got to college that that's not what I was called to do. It's just something that I was good at, and that people.
It was a hobby. Come on
It was
now.
a hobby. And
Come on, Jesus.
I remember being in college freshman. I'm like, I'm going to class. I'm like, I don't want to do this. They're like, news is what the producer says news is. I'm like, no, I'm talking about what I want to talk about. You know? Right. And so God just started dealing with me on that, and I was like, I don't think that I found my purpose in life. And so I remember in college, as freshman college, fasting and praying and seeking God's face to figure out, God, what is it that you've called me to be on this earth to do? And when I did that, He started to reveal to me that I was called to help people, organizations, and individuals, and as well as ministries, live and help them establish the abundant life that Jesus came for them to have. So whether that looks like them being in business, whether that looks like them being a creative, whether that was a ministry, whatever it is, I was called to help them establish that abundant life.
That's awesome.
And so I was like, okay, guys. So He gave me the name, and then He slowly started to introduce to me different ventures that I would have under this, umbrella called Establish, right? And so then I founded this ed tech startup. I had no technology experience, but I founded this ed tech personal development startup for students, and it was called Establish Student, and it was for students by students, and we were able, in just the idea phase on paper, we were able to raise $30,000.
My God!
In less than a year.
That's awesome.
As a sophomore, so I was like, okay, we were on the ball, we were rolling. I was like, okay, this is what God's called me to do. People were flying me out. I was pitching. I was doing all these things, applying for grants, all of that. And then the fire happened here in Montgomery at Faith Church. Right. When the fire happened at Faith Church, God just started to deal with me on going back home. And if you know me, I was a New Orleans girl. I was like, I'm gonna live here. I'm gonna stay here. I had got a good job at this $1 billion venture capital firm. I was doing well. Like, I was just living on my own, all these things. And God started to make me feel uncomfortable in New Orleans, like the place that I love. And so He kept telling me, you need to go home. And it was at the Woman Evolve 2024. Not the one you was at 2024 too?
I've been all of them.
Oh my gosh. So you remember that sermon Tori Roberts preached the last night, and it was called Girl, Bring It Home.
Oh my God, yes.
So I had already been telling God, I was like, God, you're going to have to make it abundantly clear. If you want me to go home, you have to make it clear. So that last night, I was like, I guess God don't want me to go back home. I'm going to stay in New Orleans. I'm going to do my own thing. And when I heard that sermon title, Girl, Bring It Home, and it was all about bringing your talents, your gifts, your anointing back to the place that you came from, I was like, okay, Lord, I'm going back home. And so I left New Orleans, packed up my bags. I turned down a role that was offered to me from the venture capital firm, and I worked at the church back at home, helping the church get back on its feet. And I was just like, Lord, I'm just trusting you, because that was a pay, you know what I'm saying? That was a pay cut. I'm living in my parents' house at the time, and in my obedience with working for the church, just more opportunities. People started seeing the marketing strategies and started to see the influence and everything that was happening just for me serving at the ministry. And God was like, remember that umbrella that I told you about and how there's going to be multiple ventures? Established Consulting is one of them. And so I started to get contracts with the city of Montgomery. I started doing some global stuff. We worked with the Forge, the movie. We got some businesses and churches here. And so that's how I got here. It wasn't planned all the way. I just was like, oh, people are needing these solutions. And I was like, okay, God, I'm going to have to get this incorporated. And
I talk about this all the time, Victoria. You got to be a solutionist. People are looking for, and I talk about this, you got to be a solution to someone's problem.
Yes.
And if you're not bringing solutions, folks ain't cutting no checks. They don't want to hear nothing. You know that you can have a good time with them, but baby, if you're not helping them to see what God sees in them,
Right.
And this is great. So how do you navigate? I gotta ask you this question. How do you navigate ministry in the marketplace?
Oh my goodness. It is so important. Oh my gosh. I feel like I tell people all the time, and especially like the clients that I have, I was like, I feel like I speak Black pastor. I am fluent in Black pastor because a lot of times what we have, and this is just with all clients that I work with, is that they may have strategies, but they don't have the people, they don't have the hands, which means they have the wrong strategy. Because you're not supposed to have a strategy that doesn't fit your capacity.
Come on now.
And so that's one of the issues. Or they have a lot of people but no strategy. So that's
no
an issue.
Strategy.
Or it's both of them. If you don't got no people, you don't got no strategy. Right? And so we come in, we help them with that. And a lot of times they're creatives and ministry workers and business people. They're more focused on the craft. They're like, I just know how to preach. You know what I'm saying? I know how to preach. I know how to whatever.
And I need you to do everything else.
Right, but I'm not, fluent in this marketing thing and these communication stuff. And so they need that. And so the marketing and ministry works hand in hand so much because of the time that we're living in. It's so important that ministries think about ministry outside the four walls of the church. What does it look like online? What does it look like in business, in different industries? Are your pastors involved in, going to the city council meetings and all these things? All of that is marketing as well.
Trying to visibility,
yes. And so I help with that. And then also I think for me personally, ministry and navigating ministry and marketing, it goes hand in hand because I am helping someone communicate to the public who God called them to be. Right? Because marketing is all about, and PR is all about, how does the public view you?
That's
how does
right.
the public view what you do? So it is ministry. I'm helping you market what God called you to do. What God called you to do. And so that's kind of how I look at it. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yes, it is. Yes.
It ain't what she look, it's what it is.
She speak my language. She already
I'm looking like,
yes.
This is good because I just knew you. I said she's gonna sit in one day. I just know to see
I
her.
knew it too. I was like, God clocked my tea real quick.
Like that ain't happening. So how has it been since you've been back home?
It's been good. I mean,
I know you missing all that New Orleans food. Oh God, Jesus Christ.
That's what I miss of
the food.
The food was so good. We had so many more options than here in Montgomery. Honestly, it started when I moved back here. I did have a hard time adjusting because it's just like I was like, okay, God, I'm moving back. I'm stepping on faith. Everything's gonna be fine. And there was like this just season of just like suffering for me that just came in, and I had a lot of trials and tribulations that I had to overcome. But I started to develop another level of compassion, of empathy, of being present, of appreciation, of gratitude that I did not have before that season had came to hit me. And Montgomery has taught me how to be present.
Woo.
Montgomery has taught me that, this is the boots on the ground city. New Orleans is where I was getting poured into. Like New Orleans was like, okay, you're receiving, you got this great network, you're learning from all of these people, you're flying here, you're flying there, and then here it's like a blank canvas.
Yeah, you
it's
have
like
work.
Boots on the ground.
You cannot make it
okay?
you don't work.
You cannot.
And you gotta know people.
Exactly, and I'm learning the city actually has a lot of beauty to it outside of just the civil rights. I know we talk about the crime and the civil rights a lot. That's like the thing we talk about all the time. But I'm starting to look at it from a different lens because growing up here, you're a teenager, middle school, whatever. You just kind of you don't really experience the city like you do when you're an adult. So I live downtown. I get to see everything.
You live downtown. Are you enjoying that, girl? I need to pull up. Wait a minute. Did I say? Yes. Social media content?
Yes. Let me tell you something. Downtown is flourishing.
It is. I love downtown.
Administration, Montgomery's getting better.
It's amazing. I love my city. Yes. I gotta be transparent. I ran for my city for years. I'm like, I'm not staying here.
Right.
But I thank God for even me going to Atlanta and other cities that I lived in But when I came back home this time, God was like, okay, stay put. You got to be here.
Right.
And so I really have thoroughly, even though I'm here, but I'm not here, honestly.
Yeah.
But I'm being free. But when I'm here, I do enjoy. I mean, I actually the other night I had a chance. Two of my girlfriends came in town. We did this conference, and we went down to the Renaissance. We ate us some good wings. We walked around downtown, met some new people. You know, and you got to understand, we're in ministry. We're in the people business. This is what we're in. We're in people business. So we have to navigate and meet new people. My this year I'm meeting 9,000 people. That's my goal. How many people you want to meet?
Oh wow!
Come on.
You said 9,000. Okay, 2,000.
2,000. Okay.
That's a lot of people.
You
To
got
meet
this.
face to face.
Mhm.
Face to face. How you gonna meet that many people? What's the strategy behind it?
Just if you're in a grocery store, hey, how you doing?
Start speaking to people.
Just because you never know who's looking for you.
You're right.
But if you're never visible, because you're visibility now.
Yeah.
2,000.
That's a challenge.
Yay.
Okay,
I love
let's
challenge.
make it 5.
5,000.
5,000.
Okay. So you're gonna tag me like I
5,000.
made. All right, that's a challenge.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit my 9.
Y'all
'Cause
make my 5.
Okay. So that means we're going places.
Yes, we have to.
Yeah.
So conference is something.
I think it's important because so many people are looking for us, but if we're never seen,
Yeah.
how do people find us?
That's very true.
We got to get out of the walls. And when you said 4 walls, that is something for me because
Yeah.
a lot of us, we think people gonna come to us when God wants us to take what we have to them.
Yeah. My biggest contract came from me going to a networking event. The same place that we went to. It wasn't that same event, but at that coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
I went and me and my friend, we weren't feeling it. It's like, look, he was like, let's go. And I was like, I think we should stay just a little longer. Somebody got up there, started talking, and then we talked afterwards. I was like, I need to talk to her. And that's how I got with my biggest contract.
Because you showed up.
Because I just showed up.
Showed up. Show up matters.
You know what? I had a conversation. This one time I was at the Women Business Entrepreneurship National Council Conference. I was a part of the fellowship there. And I didn't know at the time that the woman that I was talking to was a billionaire until she got on stage. But she was talking to me. This is a Hispanic lady. I'll give you the name. I can't remember her name, but she was the first female Hispanic American to be a billionaire.
Oh my God.
And she's really good. And she stopped me, and I was talking to her with my mentor. We were having a conversation. She was like, you know what? I'll tell you, always stay in these type of rooms. Just show
I'm telling you.
This alone is gonna get you to where you're trying to go.
And I'm gonna tell you what I do. Here's my strategic plan. I purposely print out 500 cards, and I would not leave. She's nodding her head over there, my assistant. I would not leave the room until all 500 is gone.
That's good.
I specifically, because when you do digital cards, they take up time. You got to pull your card out. And I don't know people who do. I do both. I do both. But meeting them and putting that card in their hand, it hit a little different because everybody doing digital cards. You know what I'm saying? But I like to meet people. I like to put my card, and my card's always different anyway, so they're gonna remember my people because my card is different. I don't have the basic card like everybody else, but yeah, you gotta have a pop to it because your branding. I can't tell you I do visibility and I'm not visible. I gotta show up. I gotta be different. But I'll say this, me everywhere I go, I'm gonna print between 5 to 1,000 cards everywhere I go.
Okay.
If I'm going to an event like this weekend, I'm gonna be traveling for 9 days. I literally have print off over 5,000 cards.
Yeah. There you go.
You gotta be strategic.
I'm taking it too. Yeah.
I'm taking it.
I'm taking it because I'm not super big. I don't really like talking about myself to people, but I don't really, and I don't know. I've noticed that about myself. I don't really like,
But how do you expect people to know who you are if you don't open up your mouth?
Yeah.
A closed mouth don't get fed.
Don't get fed. Don't get fed at all. But we working on it.
You're gonna get better. I just want I thought about you. I said, I gotta bring video on the show because I feel like a lot of people, young people, need to understand that it doesn't matter about an age. Because you have an old soul anyway.
Yeah.
You probably get that a lot, but a lot of people gotta understand. Don't wait on people to elevate you. Let God do what He gonna do, but you still gotta show up.
You still have to show up.
Yeah.
And it matters. And showing up makes a difference.
Yeah.
Showing up makes a difference.
All right, guys, listen. I gotta bring this girl back. We gotta bring her back on the show so we can talk about some other things that she's doing. Listen, shout out to Faith Center. I actually got married at the church.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I told your dad. Yeah, Bishop came on the show a couple of months ago, maybe a month ago. And I was telling him that, and I'm gonna end the show because our time is up. But I want to say this: I was walking down the aisle, and I looked up at the ceiling, and I remember in the 4th grade at Harrison School, we had to sing at your church. It was a white church then. And I looked up at 4th grade, and I told a girlfriend next to me, I said, I'm gonna get married here one day.
Oh, wow.
And me and my dad was walking down the aisle to my husband, and I looked up and literally about choked.
Wow.
Same ceiling.
Wow. That is
Life
amazing.
and death is
That
in the
is
power of the
awesome.
tongue.
That is
So when when the church caught on fire, I sowed a seed because I want others to get married at that church.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they will, and they are. Actually,
That's
this year
right.
we got her like 3 weddings.
Oh, y'all got a lot more to go, child.
Yeah, we got.
Listen, the best is yet to come, I believe.
Thank you.
All right, guys, listen. Don't forget to follow her, Victoria. What's your social media?
Victoria Hardy, or on Facebook, Victoria Hardy, and on Instagram, Tori Divine with 2 eyes.
Okay, and what about your business?
So, like I said,
We're going to talk after the show.
Yeah, so we're working on that actually. I'm working on that. So I'm not taking new clients right now. So
She's not taking new clients right now, y'all.
Yes, but soon I will, later on this year. So you'll hear about me. So just follow me, Tori Divine, on Instagram, and Tori Hardy on Facebook.
All right. We'll be back for another show. Shout out to CTR Media Group. Dr. Tina Ramsey, 300 million followers on our network. I'm excited. We'll see y'all not next week because I'm going to the Bahamas next week. Yes, but the week after next, we'll be back with another powerful show. Stay tuned. I love you guys so much. The best is still yet to come. Stay tuned.